Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's speed build will be centered around a cozy Christmas rental, so let's get into it. So happy December everyone. I hope you've been enjoying lots of festive activities so far this month. As I said, to celebrate the jolly season, today's speed build will be centered around a cozy Christmas house. So original, I know, but honestly, there's only 1 month out of the year when this type of build is acceptable, so I'm going all in. This house was based, as always, from a reference on Pinterest. I wanted it to feel really grand whilst remaining homey and cozy, so it's a tiny bit bougier than the average house, and the colour scheme running throughout is OTT. I think you'll clock it pretty easily, but it is a bit in your face. I just want to talk about this build that I made a couple years ago, actually, over on TikTok. So a couple years ago, I was streaming quite regularly on TikTok, and I actually built a Christmas mansion, which took me 3 or 4 streams to complete. It was absolutely humongous. And that was the last Christmas inspired build that I did. It was very different to this build, and it used predominantly dark wood, dark windows, lots of fireplaces. It was more like a cabin lodge feel. It had 6 bedrooms, 2 living spaces, one of which was a double-story room with floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall windows. That room had about 62 windows in it. It was honestly one of the most craziest things I've ever built in my life. If you actually want to go download it, it is on my gallery right now. I think it's called Sweet Simlish's Christmas Cabin. So yeah, I built that as a space where my Sims could go and rent that for their Christmas and enjoy their Christmas holidays there, because it was such a magical space. And honestly, I would love to rent somewhere like that for my Christmas holidays, although it would probably be on the higher end of a normal person's budget because it was very OTT, but it would be such a magical place to spend Christmas. Anyways, I promise this does tie into this build somehow. So basically, I used my old build as a reference of what I didn't want to do with this build. So I was trying to create something completely different, and I feel like I actually did that really well. This house turned out very small, which is a complete opposite of the other house, and very bright, which is also a complete 180 from my previous Christmas build. Enough reminiscing on my old Christmas build, let's get into this build itself. So I imagine this house being an overall rental lot that your Sims will be able to visit for Christmas with their family. Overall, it's actually quite a big house. There's a total of 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a quote-unquote annex on the left-hand side of the building, which is access through the kitchen. You know, I guess it's not even an annex, as it doesn't have a self-contained kitchen, and it isn't detached from the house itself. I guess you would call it more of a master suite. I mean, it does have an ensuite and a separate entrance, so yeah, I feel like master suite is the correct terminology for it. I personally imagine the users of that room would be either elders in your family who want to escape and get a rest from the family, get some peace and quiet in their own little cozy space, or if in-laws are visiting to celebrate Christmas with extended family. For example, if your family has a dad and his brother and his brother's wife came to celebrate with them, they would stay in that room because they would have their private space away from their extended family. That was a lot of explaining. I hope that made sense. So there are 3 bedrooms overall. There is a twin bedroom, which means there's 2 single beds in one room. I've made the second bedroom into an infant/toddler room because, oh my god, I just hate it when I rent a lot for my Sims and there's no cot in sight. My toddler is battling in the depths of exhaustion and I have nowhere to put them to sleep and they're just miserable the whole entire holiday. So you're very welcome for that. I am aware of infants and toddlers in this game and I have given you a cot in this rental house. So you have probably noticed that I'm using CC in this build. Honestly, when am I not using CC? I'm a CC stan. But to be fair, I didn't use too much throughout this build though. I think the only CC I used in this build is sofas in the living room and the siding used on the outside, as well as some windows and doors. For the interior of this build, like I said, I was going for a white Christmas theme. I wanted it to be bright and almost gaudy with the Christmas decor while still being warm and homey and inviting. So I used a few of the holiday marked items in game. You know what? I really wish we had more modern Christmas tree decorations in game. New trees with updated baubles or new trees in general. I honestly wish we had more than 2 tree options, period. And on top of that, 1 is only base game, which I think sucks. Does anyone else feel the same way? Can we start petitioning for more Christmas trees in game? So throughout, I did go a little bit over the top of the Christmas tree theme. There's a colour scheme going throughout of white, green and red because for some reason in my mind, those colours mean modern Christmas. And honestly, it's how my brain was computing with white Christmas, as opposed to a dark wood cabin-esque holiday home I would naturally gravitate towards. Actually, in the kitchen, I wanted to go all in and I wanted to use this pattern tiles which came with I think it is for rent, but I decided to edit that whole thing out because honestly it looks so awful. So in the kitchen I stuck with a nice green tile on the walls to section off the kitchen, and then placed red appliances, which was really fun because like when am I ever going to use red appliances again? They're such a taboo. And then the final bedroom upstairs is just a standard double bedroom with some cute Christmas decorations. It actually added decor to the room, so the toddler's room has a full-blown tree in it, like a mini-sized Christmas tree, and the other two bedrooms have bunting, or rather, I guess you'd call it garlands. Yeah, like Christmas garlands above the bed. So that's it, guys. That's my Christmas build for this year. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you love the screenshots, and I'm wishing you a very Merry Christmas if I don't post another video before that time. I will see you in my next one, guys. Thank you for sticking around. See you next time. Bye-bye.